This is a poison dart frog. Males raise their young in a very special way. A father will place each one of his tadpoles in its own tiny pool of water. This is one. Nice and safe. He might have up to 5 other tadpoles. But he needs to remember where he put each one of them. This one isn't doing so well. Its tiny puddle has all but dried out. The tadpole will die unless its father can find a better place for it. If dads are good for one thing, it's piggyback rides. Fathers are no bigger than a human thumbnail, but this enables them to get to places that others can't. This could be perfect. The only problem is that there's no food here. Fathers need help. Somewhere in this forest is Mum. A female can do something a male cannot. But first, Dad must lead his partner to their hungry tadpole. And Mother deals with the problem. She lays a single, unfertilized egg. And her tadpole gets a much-needed meal. For the next 6 weeks, parents continue their rounds, an extraordinary test of teamwork and memory. They're bullied constantly. And forced to live on the fringes of the troop. As outcasts, their only comfort is each other. He's been snatched, stolen by a higher-ranking female. She is childless, and she wants a baby of her own. He's only a few meters away, but if his mother approaches, the rest of the troop could well attack her. The kidnapper has never raised a baby before, so this one is in danger. They're headed towards a cable car tower. The young mother can't let them out of her sight. They're 30 meters up. If she tries to grab her baby and fails, he could fall to his death. The kidnapper refuses to surrender him. There's one last thing a mother can try, and to do it, she needs to recruit another macaque. Now the mother begins to groom her companions in full view of the kidnapper. All monkeys love to be groomed, even by a low-ranking female. It's the basis for peace in macaque society. Eventually, the urge to join in is just too strong. The kidnap is over, and the youngster can climb back into his mother's arms. A little red flying fox. Their ancestors flew here, travelling along the chain of volcanic islands that links Asia to Australia. But their huge wings, which stretch from their fingers to their toes, make it difficult for them to walk or take off from the ground. So when they want to rest, they hang upside down in trees. But the bats have to drink every day. And they do so on the wing. They swoop just low enough to wet their bellies, and then, back in their roosts, they will suck out the water. Each evening, 10,000 of them come here. Not all of them return. Every 2 meters of river, there is a crocodile. They were here long before the bats. Survivors from Australia's prehistoric past. These dramas have been taking place for millions of years. Aerial agility versus patience and deadly speed. Australia's forests are hostile places in which to make your home. Somewhere along this seemingly barren stretch of sand, there is food in great quantity. Cape fur seals. There are around 10,000 of them here. Adult seals are large and strong. But their pups are neither. The youngsters are closely guarded by their mothers. A hyena, however, knows to be patient. Sooner or later, seal mothers must return to the ocean to cool off. A single seal pup could feed a hyena and her family for days. But finding food is only half the battle. It now has to be carried back. A jackal is here too. And it's not alone. If a hyena loses her kill, she'll have nothing with which to feed her cubs. The jackals won't follow her very far from the coast. It's too hot for them in the desert interior. Only by making these long journeys can brown hyenas manage to survive in the middle of the Namib. Off the south coast lies by far the biggest of them, Tasmania. And that has its own special marsupial. One that seldom appears until after dark. The Tasmanian devil. Many predators inhabit a territory packed with prey, but here there's nothing like that for them. Each may travel for miles, night after night, prepared to eat anything it can find, dead or alive. The shoreline is a good place to search. There might be some small creatures to catch here, or maybe something that the tide has brought in. The carcass of a wallaby has been washed ashore. Tasmanian devils can eat 40% of their body weight in one session, and they have hugely powerful jaws. They tackle everything, even bones. Back at the den, there are other hungry mouths. Her two youngsters are 6 months old. They still rely on their mother's milk, but they're feeling peckish. There must be something solid they could find for themselves while they're waiting for a drink. Is this food? That possum smells tasty, but it's a little high up. This looks more promising. At last, a giant stick. Not bad for a first go. Their mother will protect and feed these youngsters for another 3 months. Their survival is important to her, but also for us. Because these are one of the last devil families in the world. Tasmanian devils are now endangered. Found in only a few places, such as this remote islet off the coast of Tasmania. The oceans around southern Asia are also feeling this pressure. These seas feed billions of people around the world. For many fishermen here, their catch is their only source of livelihood. And there is one fish here that they prize above all others. The whale shark. It swims slowly, gently harvesting the plankton. It's almost 20 meters long, the largest fish in the world. They are also under threat. Like many shark species in Asia, populations have declined by more than half in recent years. They are an easy and valuable catch. But here, there is a respect for the seas and their inhabitants. Whale shark hunting has now been banned across Indonesia's waters. This whale shark plays a different part in the lives of these fishermen. They feed him, and the relationship seems to bring joy to both parties. And with this new protection has come something truly remarkable. Whale sharks from far away are seeking out these fishermen, and in these safe waters there is a chance for their numbers to increase. And maybe one day other shark species will be protected too. The people here have made a simple but extraordinary choice. Fishing in a way that is sustainable for themselves and the animals. Caring for wildlife is surely our shared responsibility. Across this vast continent and across the world, it is decisions like these that are key to protecting the planet's most precious diversity. The Great American Deserts cover over 2.5 million square kilometers. Here, roasted by the sun and blasted by the wind, the rocks disintegrate and mountains, particle by particle, are reduced to sand. These pillars are all that remain of a plateau where dinosaurs once roamed. Few animals can now survive here. In summer, as in all deserts, the enemy is heat, and it returns every day. At 7 in the morning, the temperature is already 25 degrees Celsius. The clock is ticking for one unusual descendant of the dinosaurs. A road runner, found only in the deserts of North America, built for a life on the ground. He can run at over 30 kilometers an hour, but the prey he seeks are one step ahead. The Roadrunner's challenge is picking the right target. A Gila monster. Too big. By mid-morning, it will be 40 degrees Celsius. Even the smallest lizards will soon head for cover. A centipede. Slim pickings for the morning's work. Hunting should get easier and prey will stay out longer once the summer's peak begins to fade. Here, there are other challenges. St Andrews Bay on South Georgia is packed with 500,000 king penguins. In spring, the chicks are left for days whilst their parents are away collecting food for them. There is a simple arrangement. The chicks must stay exactly where their parents left them to be sure of being found again. But this chick has decided to look around. There is a lot to be investigated. But it must not stray too far from its meeting place. This parent has returned with food in its crop. But its chick isn't where it left it. It's hard to stay put when there's so much to play with. Elephant seals are here too. Very mysterious. Finding it in the crowd of youngsters is not going to be easy. They must recognize each other by their calls. But to hear these in such a noisy colony, they must be within 15 meters of each other. Reunited. A mother black bear is looking for something suitable for her cubs. This is their first ever trip to the seaside. In a few hours, the tide will return. So they must keep up with Mum. Here's something tasty. Crabs. Big crabs can give a nasty nip, so it's best to start off with smaller ones. During spring, 3/4 of the bear's food comes from the beach. But now, this family is not alone. An adult male. He's double her size, and they're in his territory. The cubs know that call. It's time to head for safety. Bears have poor eyesight, but their sense of smell is acute, and the male has detected intruders. He knows exactly which tree they are in. If the cubs stay up there, they'll be safe, but they're losing precious feeding time. For now, he's content to leave his scent mark. A warning note for trespassers. The family moves on. For the cubs, lunch today will have to be a takeaway. The tide comes in, and within minutes, feeding time is over for another day. The Kalahari Desert. Here, food is more plentiful, but it's hidden. A pangolin. She can collect food that others can't reach. A keen sense of smell enables her to detect the presence of ants and termites in their nests beneath the sand. Her sticky tongue, some 30 centimeters long, enables her to collect them from deep underground. And she's being carefully watched. The drier it gets, the deeper the termites live. Many are way beyond the reach of even a pangolin. But not of an aardvark. It's the world's largest burrowing animal. Its sense of smell is extremely acute. Shovel-like claws and powerful legs enable it to dig down to depths of 5 or 6 meters. A full-grown aardvark needs to eat about 50,000 termites every day. Termites are highly nutritious and full of moisture, and they can be collected here year-round. Aardvark are usually nocturnal. But the fact that this one is foraging in daylight is a sign that food is scarce. Recent droughts in the Kalahari have led to low termite numbers, and as a consequence, aardvarks here are close to starvation. Changes in the world's climate are affecting many of Africa's animals. It's predicted that in the next century, southern Africa will warm twice as much as the global average. The future will be bleak for those that cannot adapt fast enough. Termites, an important source of protein. But perhaps they are an acquired taste. He's off to search for something he might prefer. It's hard to know where to look. Or where it's safe to clamber. Different levels in the forest contain different foods, and some of the most delicious are in the very highest parts of the canopy, 50 meters above the ground. He's a couple of years old, and he's already getting adventurous. His mother could climb right to the top in 10 minutes or so if she wanted to, but she lingers to keep an eye on him. A fall from this height could be fatal. Where the gaps between the branches are too wide for him, his mother lets him use her body as a bridge. Only 10 meters to go before the top. But it's hard going for small hands. He's had enough. Time for a rest with Mother. And this is his reward. Ripe mangoes, sweet and juicy. There's so much he must learn. He will depend entirely on his mother until he's 7. It's the longest of all childhoods, except ours. Here on the coast of Peru, there are so many seabirds fishing in the offshore waters that the cliffs are covered in droppings over a metre thick. Humboldt penguins regard the soft guano as a good material in which to dig their nest holes. But it's a messy business. It's the breeding season, and more hopeful nesters arrive, spotless from swimming in the sea. Time for the residents to get cleaned up and catch some fish for themselves and their chicks. To get to the sea, they cross the remains of an old nesting ground. Only 100 metres to go. But the beach is already crowded with sea lions. They too have come ashore to raise their young. And they don't like being disturbed. To get through such a minefield needs a bold and courageous leader. A brave start. A dead end. Now he's in trouble. This is going to need a bit of crowd surfing. But now all the sea lions are roused. Getting through them will be tricky. A cleansing bathe in the ocean. Well worth the effort. Forest once covered 80% of Europe. Now, only half of it remains. A brown bear. One of only 1,500 that are left in Finland's forests. Her cubs have recently emerged from their nursery den. The long summer days means there's plenty of time for play. With two boisterous cubs, it pays to rest whenever you can. But their mother must be on her guard. The cubs have spotted something. A large male looking for a mate. The cubs aren't his, so he might try to kill them. Their cubs are excellent climbers, and now they're beyond his reach, 15 meters up. Their mother warns him to keep his distance. But the cubs are coming down too soon. She can't take any chances. That was a close call. Finland's forests give us a glimpse of what Europe was once like. A land of endless wilderness where large animals roamed far and wide.